video, we're going to be talking about Fixies. And immediately when I said that, I can guarantee a few of you were like, what even is a Fixie? So let's get right into it. A Fixie is a bike that doesn't have a freewheel mechanism, or in other words, a cassette. And for those of you that don't really know what I mean, it's basically the mechanism in your rear hub that allows you to stop pedaling while your wheel is still moving. And cassettes are virtually on every single bike out there, except Fixies, that is. And this is precisely what makes Fixies so special. They are fixed gear bicycles. So essentially what that means is that your rear wheel and pedals are locked together. So no, on a Fixie you can never stop pedaling. As long as your wheel is moving, you're gonna have to be pedaling. And also, yes, if you're going down a hill extremely fast, your pedals are going to be rotating extremely fast as well. And a Fixie and a single speed are not the same thing. It's only a Fixie if the rear wheel and the pedal system is all locked together. Whereas a single speed, all that means is it has one gear. So that means that a Fixie is always going to be a single speed, but more often than not, a single speed is not going to be a Fixie. And also, for some reason, a lot of people seem to think that Fixies are faster than other road bikes, which is not true. It's going to be going the exact same speed as any other bike with the same gear ratio and width of tires. Being a Fixie itself changes nothing, except you always have to be pedaling, so you might even want to go slower because your pedals are going to be whipping. But now we come to the question of the video, which is, why would you ride a Fixie? And the answer to this question is extremely easy, and I almost feel silly even bringing it up because it's really obvious to all of us why you would ride a Fixie, and that is because, wait, why would you ride a Fixie? But in all seriousness, I would say there are three major reasons why you would want to ride a Fixie, with the biggest being that they are extremely durable. I mean, these things are absolutely bulletproof. Okay, well, I mean, maybe not quite that durable, but I mean, if you did have to throw a bike off a cliff, your Fixie is probably the best bet to survive. And this is because it's a bicycle at its simplest. I mean, there's no front suspension, no rear suspension, so you'll never have to get that service. There's no shifting, there's a single brake that you don't use very much, and there's no cassette to wear out. Overall, there's nothing that will break on this bike. I mean, just look at it. It's as simple as it gets, and it's wonderful to ride around knowing that this is basically a one-time purchase. You won't have to keep upgrading and replacing things that break. And that brings us to the second reason why you would want to ride a Fixie, which is that they are dirt cheap. Well, actually, that's a lie. They're cheaper than dirt. I mean, seriously, I picked up my bike for $150 off of Kijiji. I mean, yes, it was partially taken apart, but only $150. And after looking around on Kijiji for a little while, it looks like you could get your hands on a Fixie for around $200 to $300. But since they are such niche bikes, they're going to be pretty hard to find on websites like Kijiji, so if you did want to buy them brand new, they look around $300 to $400, even less on some other ones, so really, really affordable bikes. And this brings us to the third reason why you would want to ride a Fixie, and it is because they are extremely fun to ride. Whether you have a really mundane task like going across town to get some groceries, or maybe you're just going out for an afternoon cruise, it will always be a blast on a Fixie. And this is due to the fact that it is not your normal bike ride. You have to be paying extreme attention when you're riding a Fixie because, well, it's frankly going to be a little more dangerous than your average bike. And you can attribute this danger to things such as, forgetting it's a Fixie and then panicking to get your feet back on, or maybe taking a turn too sharp and hitting your pedal on the ground because you can't level them out, or something that I never expected, but not being able to get up curbs because you can't level out your pedals to actually lift your wheel. But at the end of it all, these are all little things that take a while to get used to, but it's fun to discover them and it's fun to get around them. So I would definitely say little things like this definitely add to your experience instead of hinder them. And another great thing about Fixies is being able to slow down completely using your leg power instead of your brakes. I would definitely have to say this is my favorite part about riding a Fixie because this is what I do constantly when I'm riding it. I often don't use my brake at all for an entire ride, just using my leg power, and that's a lot of fun. But that's not to say you don't need brakes on your Fixie because you absolutely do. If you ever need to come to a complete stop, your legs are not going to be able to do that. You need quite a bit of distance to completely stop with just your legs, and since this is a road and street bike, you're probably going to have to be stopping for cars all the time. So you've been warned. You can either put brakes on your bike and, have a pretty fun experience but still be safe, or take the macho hipster route and go without brakes and probably end up like this guy.
Oh crap, oh crap! Hey, my car, what the heck?
But overall, for a bike that was originally created for couriers so that they'd have an absolutely bulletproof bike and they would never postpone delivering packages, I'd have to say they made an amazingly fun bike to ride just casually. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. To prove that these bikes are extremely fun for just your average Joe or just someone that rides all the time, I decided to go around and get a whole bunch of friends and family to take it for a ride, and here were some of their first reactions.
Without the brake?
Yeah.
I went to
Stop pedaling.
stop pedaling and it just about threw me off.
That is really bizarre.
Yeah. You get used to it though, and then it's kind of nice. I like it.
Yeah, but you can't take a corner too sharp.
No, exactly not. Well, you can't level them out. You gotta, yeah, exactly. And stop pedaling. Stop pedaling.
I'm not.
Yeah, so stop without touching the brakes. Just pedal back. As it comes up, push back. See, you feel that?
Definitely can't stop the pedals.
Okay, now stop. 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 Yeah, I know. Yeah, how does that feel?
It feels weird. It doesn't feel okay.
Okay, now try to stop pedaling, Mom.
Why won't you stop pedaling?
Because that's what it is, Mom.
It's a Fixie.
So as you can see, a very popular reaction to riding the Fixie is being very uncomfortable without being able to stop pedaling, which is completely natural, and it definitely does take a little while to get used to it and then actually be comfortable on the bike. But the last thing I did want to talk about in this video is that because you're able to pedal backwards, there is a lot of fun stuff that you can do on a Fixie. It's not just your normal bike where you go from A to B and you just sit on there and pedal. But because of the lock system on the Fixie, Rex and I were able to find a ton of really fun ways to ride the Fixie that may not be too beneficial for maybe going longer distances, but they definitely were challenging and very fun to ride. But anyways, the last thing I'll mention is that my Fixie is able to become a cassette just like a normal bike, so I could stop pedaling, but I am choosing not to because I really enjoy riding the Fixie. So if that isn't a testament to why you should get a Fixie, I don't know what else will be. But anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.